When the purpose of a thing isn't known, abnormal use or abuse is inevitable. Think about that. So when we think about nutrition and diet and lifestyle, so much information out there. So I'm Dr. Sansa Curtis, and this is the team, and we're going to bring to you weight liberation and debunk those myths and give you the tools to take it to the next level. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are you in the right place? Well, the biggest thing, if you're tired of hitting those common weight loss roadblocks and tired of the battle of the bulge, you're in the right place. You want to say goodbye to those frustrations of real-time results and and hello to cutting edge devices that's going to help you with sustainable lifestyle and weight release, you're in the right place. If you want a program that's going to address your weight workout plateaus and your food plateaus, you're in the right place. You want to boost your energy, you're in the right place. We have the tools that will last tangible for success. Again, like I said, I'm Dr. Sansa Curtis. I'm a physician assistant and a naturopath, and one of the co-founders of the BeU2full program. I own a practice at 3D Wellness, the founder of 3D Wellness, and I am, and we're in Roswell, Georgia. And next, we're going to bring up Dr. Satcher.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Satcher, and I'm a medical doctor, and I'm board certified, and I'm also certified by the Institute of Functional Medicine, and I'm one of the co-founders of the program. I have mostly a virtual practice, but Dr. Sansa and I work together on certain projects, and this is one of them. So next, I'm going to introduce one of the health coaches, the fabulous Sharon.
Well, thank you. I'm Sharon Muse. I am one of the health coaches with this program. I am a mom of two grown daughters, and certified in culinary nutrition and weight loss, and really excited you're here. Thanks for joining us. And now here's the fabulous Anna.
Thank you. So I am Anna Massey, and I am the other health coach. I got my certification through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and love taking a holistic approach to working with patients. I'm also a mom of two little kids, 5 and 7, and I love baking healthier desserts.
All righty. So first thing off, we're going to talk about some numbers, and we're going to ask you later to see if you were listening. Can you relate to some of what we're saying? So the statistics on obesity show that across the world, 39% of adults are overweight and 13% are obese. It's astounding. But also 31% of women worldwide are obese. And then when we look at the United States, oh my goodness, the numbers are just appalling. 73% of adults in the United States are either overweight or obese. And these numbers come from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in 2021. All right, so we just want to remind you to stay on until the end because we've got some goodies. We got a bonus for you. There's a bonus called Metabolic Biome Support, and it helps to control the blood sugar and it helps your digestion at the same time. And we'll talk about it more towards the end. Next, we're going to talk about weight loss myths, and this is going to be kind of the focus of what we're talking about today. A lot of people have misperceptions about what helps them to lose weight, what helps them to keep weight off, and also just generally about weight loss, like what is the goal and what are you looking for? So weight loss, a lot of people believe incorrectly that weight loss depends solely on severe calorie restriction and radical exercise or extreme exercise?
Another myth is that the number on the scale is an accurate reflection of weight loss success.
And yet another one is that healthier food is always more expensive.
Wow, thank you, ladies. Those are a lot of myths. So if any of that relates to anybody, would just type a yes in the chat and let us know, like, yeah, that's something that I believe or something that I've done before. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. I used to believe all of these. Yes, so did I.
So did I. So in addressing the first myth, focusing just on like extreme and radical exercise and severe calorie restriction, it can work in the short term, but if you're perimenopausal or menopausal, or even if you have some chronic health issue, you may lose weight in the beginning. You may lose some weight in the first couple of weeks, but then things are going to change and your body's going to see it as stress, and you may not continue to lose that weight. And that's usually the picture that we see. That's the most common issue, is that people have weight loss resistance.
That was me. I can tell you about that. And then the scale. It's time we ditch that traditional scale. It really isn't a reflection of the weight loss progress. It doesn't even take into account our body composition, our overall health and well-being. I mean, it certainly doesn't take into account to what a wonderful person we are, and how well our heart beats. It just literally tells us how much we weigh. And there are so many things that could be contributing to maybe a pound or two up if you didn't sleep well. Water retention, hormone fluctuation, food allergies and sensitivities. So really the scale, the traditional scale, is definitely not something that we need to be measuring ourselves against.
Sharon, some people may not understand body composition. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Yes. So body composition is, and what we have a scale that will measure that. So it will measure your weight, but it was also going to measure your body fat percentage, your lean muscle mass, how much water you have. So it's going to tell us a far better reflection of your progress, because you might have, maybe the scale stayed the same, but your lean muscle mass went up and your body fat went down. I mean, that's a huge win. So it's really not just about that one number.
Thank you.
That is good. And then, so again, myth number 3 is that healthier food is always going to be more expensive. And I love what you all just put in the chat. Whole Foods is expensive. And I agree, like Whole Foods is awesome. But for me personally, I shop at Walmart. I do the grocery pickup. I have small kids. I'm like, I don't have time to go into the grocery store on top of making a meal every week or making meals for my family. So I shop at Walmart, and they have a great selection. They have a selection of organic foods. And for some people, even if you can't start with organic, if you can't buy organic or you don't want to, just start with the whole foods. Start with fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, wild rice. And then if you can do organic, that's even better. And a lot of Americans eat out a lot. So if you're looking at the price that you're paying to eat out every week versus making a home cooked meal, it's going to be a lot healthier for you. You're always going to win with a home cooked meal because you're going to save on your budget, and it's just going to be better for your body. So all these myths are ones that we like to debunk in this program.
And we have good tips and tricks to help stretch the dollar when it comes to healthy foods.
Yes. Oh, and I love, and Anna, that was great. I thank you for that, because I love to go to the farmer's market. That's the favorite thing. You buy local, eat local, and you eat your environment. So I never would have thought going to Walmart that I could eat healthy from eating at Walmart. I guess I was one of those food snobs. And as Freddie put in the Smith chat, Whole Foods, or AKA whole paycheck. So we're going to go into our weight release journey, and we have of the shedding pounds, and me and Dr. Satcher, we actually have some pictures of before and after, and how you can just embrace that freedom. Now, every time I look at this, I want to barf, guys. It's like, I can't believe I let myself go that way, right? But life, stress, it happens, right? And so stress, a lot of times we think stress is a negative thing. We think stress has to be something bad. But I opened my practice, that's stressful. Being an entrepreneur, that's stressful. So we will help you in this program identify your stressors. And most of the time, if you're working and you're a woman and you have kids, there's stress, when we just don't identify those stressors. So I look at the picture there and I'm like, oh my God, I got my freedom. I'm finally liberated. But I was doing program after program, yo-yo after yo-yo, diet after diet. And I was still stuck. And then I was looking at the scale and it's like, what is really going on? I am doing all the right things. And why isn't it moving the right way? And then I was introduced to our body composition. I knew about it, but I actually purchased one for the practice. And when I got on that scale and finally start losing weight, then it was another eye opener. I was losing muscle. Now, nobody wants to lose muscle because you're gaining the fat back soon. So then that's when I called Dr. Satcher, which is having a meeting one day. And I said, this is ridiculous. I said, we got to figure this out. So we came to our heads together and everything just fell into place. And I'm going to let you tell her own story. But I tell you, when you begin this program and weight liberation, sometimes it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. And when you lose a lot of that excess weight, it is eye-opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've had a long journey with the struggle with weight, just like Dr. Sanza. And when I went to college, I gained the 15 in college. And I forgot to say earlier today that I did 2 residencies. So the first residency, I gained 15, and then I lost a few because I did Weight Watchers, which didn't work, by the way. And then the second residency, after I worked for a little bit, then I went and did a second residency and I gained 15 again. It's just a lot of stress doing residency. And then when I got out of that residency, I lost quite a bit of weight because I read a lot of books because I didn't believe like what they taught me in Weight Watchers. I was like, this can't be right. And it can't be that you could just eat every kind of like cupcake and cookie and everything you want to eat. That didn't make sense to me. And so then in menopause, because I've noticed that in every decade, it's become harder and harder to get the weight under control. And then menopause was just tremendously frustrating because like Dr. Sanza said, we were doing the exercise, the HIIT workouts, we were doing everything we knew how to do, and it just wasn't working. But then we started studying these new devices, and I had some experience with some of the new devices that are out, and Dr. Sanza had some experience as well. But we put our heads together, just like Dr. Sanza said, and we started adding that to what we were doing and saw success, like not after that much time. And the body composition is part of the key. And we'll talk about some of the other factors as we get along here. However, we definitely also, in our studies in functional medicine, have learned how to fetter out all the different factors that can be contributing to systemic inflammation, which I'm going to mention in a later slide. But here we have a slide of the annual conference of the Institute of Functional Medicine, where we presented a poster on our research on our first cohort through this program. And we had a group of women that were all perimenopausal and menopausal women. We had different races of women. We had women that were in rural areas. The great thing about our program is that we have virtual participation. So the women in the rural areas were able to participate virtually. And what we discovered in analyzing the data that we were able to obtain with the AI devices that we use in the program, and also from getting feedback from the people that participated, we were able to discover what we kind of know in the science anyways, but to be able to see the actual numbers and prove that, number one, most important is sleep. So the people that did not sleep had more of a struggle than the people who slept at least 6 hours of solid sleep, uninterrupted, and who felt rested when they woke up. And then the second factor that was the most impactful was controlling stress and also controlling systemic inflammation. So the people that were best able to control their stress did the best and got the best results. So those were the overall overreaching concepts that we were able to decipher from the data that we got from the studies.
Now, Dr. Sadger, it's really interesting you say that because it's an oxymoron. It's perimenopausal and menopause. You can't sleep. And then if you don't sleep, you have the weight gain. And so that's why this program is so, we kind of factor that out. And if you don't sleep, you increase your cortisol. And if you increase your cortisol, not only now, that's where you get the tire around your belly. We got the fat belly there. And then it's harder to get the weight resistance. So this was great. And we had a great time presenting this, and we had a lot of people come up to us. So we had a ball with this, and we look forward to working with you as well.
I like the emoji that one of the participants put up when we were talking about sleep and menopause, like, and not being able to sleep. That's hilarious. All right.
We have a great case study. Lisa came to us. She came to us with a lot of work stress, a lot of family stress. She was also stress eating, as you can imagine, as so often that happens. And she came in ready to do the work. She was really ready to kind of go all in on this. And she had great success. She lost 14 pounds. The program is 12 weeks and she lost 14 pounds. So she had a wonderful success. But even better than just the pounds, because we talked about earlier about the scale that doesn't always the measure of success. She lost 4% of her body fat, which is tremendous. It's really great. It's wonderful. She also learned how to make this. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. She went on vacation. She did so well on vacation. I even messaged her right before she was going. And I said, listen, if you need us, let me know. Just reach back out. If you need any support, we're here for you. And I didn't hear from her. So then I messaged back. I'm like, how's it going? She's like, I'm doing so well. This is great. I've got this. So I was just so excited to see that she really had embraced this lifestyle and was able to carry it throughout her vacation, which is, not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is right. Okay, so also in our program, we like to address the way that society and culture impact our thinking. One of the things we really touch on and we try to get our patients to do is to be present during this program, have times where you're really mindful and just in the moment, and just really try to take a look at maybe how culture has influenced you. I think especially as women, we see lots of ads and TV shows that show women, in the way that we think we need to look at a certain size or whatever. And that can really get into our heads. There are a lot of times there are maybe things that a family member may have said to us as a child that kind of just stuck with us and kind of just replay in our heads throughout the years. And those things can really impact us. And so we really like to dive in and look into those during this program. And also we like to keep in mind that society, will always bring about that new diet that promises to be the magic bullet to help you, shed the pounds, get it off quickly. And it's all just a myth. What we really like to bring home with this program is that it's all about a lifestyle change. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. We're not looking for a magic bullet, but it's all about lifestyle change, consistency, eating the right foods, and then you will see the change in your body, and your body's going to be healthier in the long run, and it's going to run the way that it's meant to run.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Anna. So all these tools that we'll use is so you can become the CEO of your health. And, you know, Anna said something with the mouthful with mindset. You know, a lot of people think that weight loss begins when you get to the gym, but it begins when you make a decision for change. So, and that's what we will go through this. It certainly didn't gain it
love it,
overnight.
yeah.
Yes,
So
Freddie,
good.
thank you.
I
Yes.
love it.
Certainly
Yep.
didn't gain it overnight, and it's not going to go away overnight. And I tell you what, those nights get longer the older you get, or if there's even, you don't have to be old. It can be what certain diseases or certain things and certain things that you're going through in your life. So that is so true. So with this program, we give you the tools, real-time tools. And I have a question for you. Are you ready to liberate your weight? We can do this. We're a team. We are here to help you, to cultivate you, and give you the tools and support you. Now, Anna and Sharon are your biggest cheerleaders. They all the time, they're like, dude, this person did this. Oh, this person did this. And they're coming back and telling us they are the biggest cheerleaders. And then when you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And that's what we've heard consistency from our other participants, that they have truly been a whirlwind and just helping getting it through this. Like Sharon said, she texted her because she didn't hear from her. So we will have direct communication, and you will have communication with the health coaches. All right. So who needs this? And are you ready for weight liberation? Now, we got a lot of people were asking, what is liberation? Now, the first three letters in diet is what? Somebody type that in the chat, or just say it. First three letters in diet is what?
Die.
Okay. So that's diet. When you think about diet, you think about a start and an end. And most people, when they're on a diet, they're like, oh man, I got 3 more days. I got 3 more days and I can go out, eat what I want, and do all those things. But when you think about lifestyle, it's a continuum, and you're going to have your ebbs and flows. So what program will help you, it will help you manifest or deal with those things. So when you're low, you fall off the horse, get back on your ride again. You don't sit there. So if you're tired of these yo-yo diets and you felt the weight, or you gained the weight back, I don't know about you, but I've been on a program and I've lost a whole bunch of weight. I know the HCG was popular. I did that one. Man, I lost 40 pounds, but then turned around and gained it back and then some back. And if you're struggling with weight resistance, it's despite eating the right things, like me and Dr. Satcher said earlier, and the rest of the team, we've ate the right things, we've done everything, but we still couldn't crack our metabolic code. And then if you're looking for more of a natural way to get sustainable lifestyle and comfortable, it's not hard. Once you can unlock your body's metabolic code, that's up to you. You are the CEO. And if you're battling with chronic fatigue and low energy, it's the weight. Not only are we working on the weight from the mind, the body, and the spirit. Sometimes you need to detox yourself for friends, co-workers, and that's holding you down. You're going to be the leader of your group, right? And if you have chronic medical conditions, now Dr. Satcher is going to go into this in just a few minutes, but again, like she said, it's inflammation. So really, you need this. And if you're ready to liberate and shed those pounds and shed inflammation, you're in the right place.
All right, so I am going to talk a little bit about the key points. And did you know that excess weight is the root cause of over 53 diseases? And I'd make this more specific and say excess fat weight. So having excess body fat contributes to these disease development. And then also, I don't think they have cancer on here, but I would add cancer. The big C is one of the main problems that people end up with over a number of years of having too high body fat. And then also the number 2 key point is inflammation. Now we could write, there are books written about inflammation in the immune system that are 5 inches thick. We don't have time to go into this today, but I think you all know what I'm talking about when I talk about inflammation causing weight resistance. Inflammation can come from a whole slew of different causes, and Dr. Sanza and I, that's part of our expertise, is looking at your labs and looking at the history that you give us and helping you to figure out where your inflammation is coming from. And this is really one of the keys. This is one of the foundations. And this is why a lot of people can't get their weight under control, because there's so many factors causing systemic inflammation these days, including our environment, our foods, our air, our water. There are so many things. And then if we're not handling stress properly, and I mentioned that was one of the key findings in the study, and when we were looking at our cohort, the people that were not coping well or hadn't adjusted well to whatever their stressors were, sometimes it's stress, when you're growing up in childhood, sometimes it's stress at work. So there can be a number of factors that many people kind of write off, but then when we start seeing the numbers, showing people the proof in their numbers, then it's kind of a wake-up call. Yeah. So in reference to what I just talked about, I want everybody to think about, is your goal to be skinny? And are skinny people always healthy? And you can type that in chat. Anna said no. Sharon said no. Freddie said no too. Good for you. So there's such a thing that we call skinny fat. And what that is a person can be skinny, but their muscle mass can be really low and their metabolic health is really poor. We start looking at the labs and we see evidence that they have problems with their metabolism that they may not know about. And oftentimes people think, oh, I want to be skinny. But then if you start looking closely at some of these people that are skinny, they have no muscle mass. You don't want to be like that. Muscle is the new anti-aging drug. That's what we're seeing, all over the place.
Wow. Can you say that again? That's deep. Can you say that one more time?
Muscle mass is the new anti-aging drug.
I love that. I'd never heard that before. I think that's awesome. I'm like, give me muscle.
Yeah.
Let's lift weights.
Yeah, the natural process, like when we hit menopause, is for that muscle to start turning into fat. So that's what we're kind of battling. And when I talk about the inflammation, that's why we have to get the inflammation under control. Because if you're working out, but you got tons of inflammation, you're still going to convert the fat. You're going to convert muscle to fat. So you've got to maintain your muscle mass and add on muscle mass as much as you can. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and again, we like to touch on food in this program. This quote says, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food." And we really believe that food is very powerful, like you're mentioning, Dr. Satcher. If we're constantly eating the SAD diet, the standard American diet of highly processed foods and refined carbohydrates like white breads and white pastas, and driving through every drive-through we see on the side of the road, then our bodies are going to reflect that, and they're going to not be in a good condition. We're going to have lots of inflammation, like you mentioned. But if we're feeding our bodies the right things, living foods, whole grains, again, organic whenever possible, lots of fruits and vegetables, high quality foods, then our bodies that are made to rejuvenate and heal themselves will be able to do what they're meant to do.
We are what we eat.
Yes. And Anna, you said something very powerful. So, you said about let thy food be thy medicine. And I go a little bit further and said, or it can be your poison. Because I don't know about, there's 3,500, calories equals a pound. I've eaten a piece of gluten before and get up the next day and I've gained 2 pounds, right? There's no way I ate 7,000 calories, with that meal. So that food can be thy poison, but we're going to turn it around where it can be thy medicine. So that was very great. And thank you for that. All calories aren't created equal. We look at the number of 250 calories of Snickers and 250 calories of broccoli. They're the same in number, but when you input them into your body, you're going to get a different reaction. And that's what Dr. Sancher was talking about, that inflammation. And Anna came back and just took it home and let that food be done medicine. So my question I have for you, what's holding you back? Type it in the chat. What's holding you back? Are you ready to liberate and to let go and to be the CEO of your health and take control? Come on, light it up. Sign me up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies, are you in for a treat? So our program, it's a 12-week program, and it's a $4,500 value. I know that's not how much you're going to pay. Hold on. But it's also, if you have flex spending or your health savings account, it is eligible for you to use that. You'll get a nice little welcome swag bag or swag box, and it'll have the AI devices. We use 3 AI devices. One of them is in the office, and 2 you actually take home. And one is a continuous glucose monitor, so you can see what your blood sugar, how it fluctuates. In addition to what was eye-opener for me, stress. Mine went up with stress. Didn't eat nothing all day, and it would go up. So stress can affect your cortisol there and your insulin. You'll get a nice little water bottle, and you'll get some treats. So these are all the tools that you'll need to succeed in the program. You'll have an initial evaluation with either myself or Dr. Sancher, so you get a chance to speak with both of us. And that's when we'll sit down. We'll go over your medical, individual, personalized, and then we'll go over your labs. The labs are also included in the program, the metabolic labs, the labs, initial labs, and then we will repeat those abnormal labs to see and mark your progress. In addition to that, Sharon told us about the body composition. So you get 3 body compositions with interpretation. So we'll sit down and explain what's going on with your body. And like she said, then you can understand how things fluctuate, and how they look on the scale is not truly what equals weight liberation. Then you'll have 2 one-on-one coaches visits with our coaches, one with Anna and one with Sharon. And when I tell you, they are phenomenal. They are mastering in their gift and their weight liberation, and they are awesome. And we also have group sessions. We'll meet once a month. We'll have group sessions, and you can dive in, and we'll have lessons. We will teach you things. All of them are powerful in teaching their points. And we'll also open it for Q&A. We have a private Facebook group, so you can also message through the private Facebook group if there are questions, and we man that. And we also have additional communication through Practice Better, where you can communicate one-on-one. If you don't want to put it on Facebook, you can communicate with something personal to Anna or Sharon. And yeah, and it's 12 weeks, guys. And
I wanted to mention that when our group Zoom calls, if you cannot make it, we do record it. So you can always message us questions if you'd like us to answer those questions on the Zoom call, and then you can watch it later at your convenience.
And those are posted on our Facebook page.
Yes.
You can look at that. So if you don't, in our first cohort, we had different people that said like they weren't on Facebook that much, or So if you join the program, if you let us know your ideal mode of communication, whether it's email, text, or you can check the Facebook, but the Facebook has a lot of information. We'll go in there. You can look at previous, you have access to that. People have put recipes in there. Dr. Satcher put this like interesting recipe. It looks like so great. And it was a dessert. Like, you can eat this? Like, yeah, you can eat dessert on this. And everybody was asking for the recipe. And then Sharon and Anna, that's their specialty too. And so they put all the stuff in there. So you can have, you have the archive to all the other people that were in there. And once you're in the group, we don't kick you out. You can stay in the group and still participate in the group as well. All right. So we talked about, like, if you join tonight, you will also get the Metabolic Biome Plus. And this is really, like Dr. Satcher said, most people start to lose weight or release the weight within the first week. It primes your metabolic system. It helps with your gut, with your GLP-1. So it helps shed the weight and also starts to get rid of the inflammation. And it has like 14 packages of protein shake. It's collagen, comes with vanilla and chocolate. And when I tell you, it's very tasty and it's low on carbs for those people that are watching the carbs. So we'll break into that more into the when we get into the program. It also has supplements already to support decreasing the inflammation and gut health and metabolic guidance. And then also it has a guidebook as well. Now, Dr. Satcher talked about something earlier, and I want her to hit on that when she talked about, gosh, I just lost my thought. When you were talking about earlier, at our earlier cohort.
Oh, sleep and stress and inflammation and one of those points? Because this
No,
kit,
you were talking about how the with the shakes, you said something with these shakes about losing the weight.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned this earlier because this is really a great bonus. They're not paying for this. This is being added to their program just as a bonus. It's a gift. And it's it will help get inflammation down, and you can lose some weight before you even start your meeting or have your meeting with the doctors or get your labs back. So you can get a jump start with this kit. That's the purpose. That's why we have it there.
And that's available if you sign up. We'll give you till Monday. If you sign up with until Monday, and then you can get this, and that's extra. Okay. So again, you get all, now this is the real price. You get it all for $2,097, and we do have plans for that. So we also came up with our weight liberation workbook. So you can go through everything there. You have the group meetings, you have the CGM, you have the metabolic tracker, you have the body composition. One thing I want to mention here on the body composition too, you can, when you talk, Dr. Satcher talked about skinny fat, the body composition also shows visceral fat, which is really the key to health. Because if your fat around your organs are greater than 10 on this scale, then that means you can be skinny, but you're more susceptible to inflammation and disease and things of that nature. You get
Dr. Where is the visceral fat? Where is it? What does visceral mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Visceral fat is the tire, the excess tire, the donut. You know, when you're trying to button up your pants and then you get the Dunlap, that's the visceral fat, Dunlap, and around the your heart, around your intestines, around your liver. A lot of people have what we call fatty liver, and more people now are being diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver. And then you know what's the root of that? Lifestyle and dietary choices, not alcohol, food. Okay.
And actually, I'll also mention that that fatty liver is the first stage of diabetes and prediabetes, even if the person may not see the numbers on their their liver functions. But if you have diabetes or prediabetes or insulin resistance, you're already in that fatty liver category. And it can be reversed within weeks.
Mhm. Okay. And
Fred-
so, and there's there's 3 enrollment options. Like I said, the 2097 you pay in full. Option 2, we have payment plans. We have 2 payment plans of 2297, so it's 1148.50. Or in option 3, you can use your FSA, and you can combine any of these option 2 or option 3. If you want to use your FSA for part of it, and then the rest pay with major credit cards. Also, we do accept care credit in the office as well. So some people need a little bit more of a payment plan, and we do accept care credit. And you can either apply, go to carecredit.com and apply, or you can just come to the office and you can apply there. And you can get it, I think, 6 months. We can set it up where it's 6 months interest free on the care credit. So you just call the office to make an appointment. And that number is 678-621-8100. We're going to ask Felicia to drop that in the chat. Or you can email us at info@BeU2fullness.com and we can get you set up.
I'm going to get the links too for you guys.
And when's the program starting, Sharon?
August 21st is when we'll start. That week, we're going to have our first group session. And so right now we're giving you a week to kind of get settled and, get your, come to the office and get your box and everything. And what that was the full payment, the link that I just put in. Sorry, I should have told you guys that. Then I'm going to put in the option for the 2 payment one. And we don't leave you hanging after the 12 weeks. If you would like some more support, we are here for you. We have monthly options where you can work with Anna and myself so we can help you continue to reach your goals and work through any blocks or plateaus as you're experiencing. So we would be honored to continue the journey with you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for staying with us while we had our tech issues. And I want to just ask the group if y'all have any questions. We're here for you. Just drop them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask a question.